Kenan Akbayram. He is the director at the Center for Energy, Environment and Natural Disasters at the University of Bingol here in Turkey, and he joins us now live. Thanks so much for being with us. First of all, put this into perspective for us, and another issue here that we're still hearing this discrepancy between a 6.6 initial magnitude earthquake and then the USGS saying it was a 7 magnitude earthquake. I guess either way, it is a very large tremor, correct?
Yeah, this is a very large tremor, and also there is another estimation which is made by Kandilli. They declare that this earthquake is about 6.8 magnitude, and either way, this is an important tremor. And actually, if we look at the disaster here, I mean the collapse of the buildings and other things, it doesn't matter if it's 6.6 or 7. What matters is if we were ready or not for this earthquake. Unfortunately, some of the part of the Izmir seems to be not ready.
And how so? What's been missing?
I mean, we need to do, let's say, a check for the buildings and the quality check for the buildings, and we need to check all the soil structures over there that we put our buildings over it. Unfortunately, in some areas in Izmir, the soil structure is not very strong when we consider these kind of big earthquakes, and the building quality seems to be not quite right.
Right. I'd like to ask you something on a slightly related topic. You know, I had mentioned earlier there that Bodrum, a city not far from Izmir on the coast, was hit just a few years ago. We saw a mini tsunami emerge from that as well. Istanbul, about a year ago, had another smaller quake. I believe that was around 4.5 rather. You know, we've heard people say, and I don't know if this is just to make themselves feel better, but we've heard them say that these earthquakes tend to release pressure. So instead of having one gigantic quake that Istanbul in particular has been in fear of since 1999, you have these, you have several smaller ones instead. Is there any proof to that?
Actually, the proof is there. I mean, in the physics of an earthquake, if we consider the magnitudes of the earthquakes, the energy release, it's not arithmetic. Energy release between the 6 or 7 point earthquakes, it's logarithmic. It means we need 32 6.0 earthquakes to release the energy of 7.0 earthquake. I mean, if we consider the 4.5, we need to have like 25,000 earthquake to release the 7 point earthquake's energy. I mean, it's not possible. It's not logic to say that, unfortunately. That's very unfortunate, but it's true.
Okay, so in other words, people in especially a city like Istanbul, they need to be prepared. What do you want to tell people to do in this seismic area around Istanbul and of course, you know, into the Aegean Sea and the areas, the islands there as well?
Yeah, actually, the problem seems to me politics to me because I mean we very well know that the earthquakes will hit Istanbul and Izmir again and Bingol, which I am here right now. We need to put pressure on the municipalities to do their jobs, to do their works, but not only just planning the future, but changing the buildings right now. I mean, just collecting some data is okay, but we need to change. We need to rebuild most of our buildings very quickly, and for doing that, people need to put pressure on the municipalities and the governmental organizations. That's we need.
Indeed, they need to be retrofitted as soon as possible. Yeah, we can see. I mean, from the pictures we've been seeing. These buildings, as we talked about earlier, they didn't just, I mean, they completely collapsed. Multi-level buildings that have been smashed to like pancakes. I mean, this is obviously a structural issue because you can see the other buildings around that one we're looking at right now are perfectly fine. So there's obviously a structural issue with a number of them, and that will have to be addressed. Okay, Kenan, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us from the University of Bingol. We very much appreciate it.